Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Formula Sim series. We are back here in Bahrain for round number 2 of season 6. It was a fantastic race around the Circuit of the Americas to start us off, and we are back here in Bahrain for the first ever Formula Sim series sprint race. We are coming to you live just before the race. We are here in the lobby, and I am joined once again this week by Ethan. Ethan, how are you doing? It is, we've just got the message, the drivers have just got the message to ready up, so we will be going shortly. It is a 18-minute qualifying, the regular, followed by a 25% sprint race. There's no safety car in that, so we will get solid running until the end. I believe they have to make a pit stop. Yeah, no safety car, pure racing, and then of course we do have the standard 50% race. It is 3 points for the winner, 2 for second, and 1 for third, like your Formula 1 sprint race. And then of course there is no point for pole position tonight. Normally in the Formula Sim series there's a point for pole position. We do not have that tonight. And of course regular points in the race, 1 point for the fastest lap, then of course 25, 18 and so on. But we are loading in Bahrain. The Sakir International Circuit will have 29 laps in the main race, 5.412 kilometers. And 56 gear changes. Of course, you can find lots of those statistics on the Formula Sim Series Twitter page if you want to go give that a follow while we're loading in here. The support is always greatly appreciated. We should have a full grid. There's 18 here, I believe. So we will be getting going. But what can we expect from the first sim race tonight? Yeah, crashes will probably happen in the sprint race, as it is the first sprint race of the league. We're just waiting for 2 people to load in now. The sprint races is something many drivers won't be used to, especially in Formula Sim series. They won't have practiced the sprint race most likely. The practice normally goes into a short qualifying and the main race, but the sprint race, you gotta be fast, you gotta be quick, and then you also have to have a good strategy. There was no strategy, of course, in the real Formula 1 sim races, real Formula 1 sprint races. But there is in this one. I was going to say, wonder what weather we'd have, but that is like asking, is the sky blue? We are in Bahrain, it is dry, and we have 18 minutes qualifying ahead of us. 18 drivers. Also, to match that number here tonight, last week's result, of course, the winner did go to Isma, who isn't here tonight, I don't believe. No, he's not here tonight. That's an interesting one. He has not showed up. I'm unsure if he was meant to be racing or not, but anyways, the Mercedes driver has not joined us tonight. Kazizl and Kyon are in those 2 cars. Second place went to Kai Elting. He's here tonight. He's driving for Alpine, and third went to Suku in the Ferrari. It was a dominant performance from Isma last week. Is there anyone who stands out here? I know you sometimes know the results of the practice sessions. Is there anyone who will stand out here tonight in Bahrain? Just quickly, is my mic echoing on your side, or can I just hear me twice? Okay, I can hear myself twice. I hope that's not coming out on the stream. If it is, do let me know in the stream chat below. But qualifying started. A couple of cars on track. We're on board with Jensen in the Williams. He, of course, finished P8 last week around Kota. Had a very mismatched race. The pace wasn't quite there, but he is on a set of mediums now. Of course, strategy is an interesting one. For the main race, the drivers can start on whatever tyres they want. For the sprint race, you'll probably want to start on the softs and then go to a medium, as that's what most 25% races are on the Formula 1 game. But Jensen will start his qualifying lap now. We are taking a look at the number 15 Williams as he comes around the final corner. start a lap of the Secure International Circuit across the line to start the lap down towards turn number 1. It is a tricky braking zone. Lockups can definitely happen and will definitely be common. Not one here for Jensen. He gets the car quite beautifully into there. The next corner, we've seen Nikita Mazepin have a spin there on the left hand side, and of course that very famous crash on the right hand side, which hopefully will never be repeated. The turn number 4, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, of course, having their little bit of a ding-dong battle through there. The S section, if you get a curb on the inside too much, your car will rotate and you'll end up in the left-hand barrier there as you brake for the turn 8 hairpin. Oh, really struggling to get on the power is Jensen. 9 and 10. Turn 10, you will 100% almost have a lock-up on every lap. That is a really difficult corner to nail down. And down the back straight, there is DRS here, but it will be tricky for any driver to get a move. We could see some in the sprint race, as they will be more common then. Up the hill now. You want to avoid this left-hand curb, because you touch that, and once again the car will rotate, and you will end up in the left-hand barrier. That is Lars, who is out of the session. He had a qualifying ban for today's race. That is why he is out. As we see Andrea, Aston Martin on the right hand side. Jensen will be the first to set a timed run. It has been a fairly steady lap for Jensen actually. He's drove well. It won't be his quickest time of the day, as he will go for a set of the softs after. It is a 27.4 for Jensen. And Jensen will be giving the Aston Martin of Andrea a little bit of a tow. Here comes Tito. He crosses the line and breaks that barrier with a 26.3. That's a good lap from Tito. There's a Ferrari next. That is the Ferrari of Will Murdoch. He's the only Ferrari here tonight. He's going to cross the line and he's going to go second spot with a 26.7. Alpateri next, the Dutch missile, was made his debut on the wheel and not on the pad last week. He goes to 4th spot. There's a Mercedes starting a lap and a Haas of Modestrol starting a lap as well. A few early times in, but not as many early as you would see. But a decent lap from Tito. He is 5/10 clear at the top of the timing sheet. Okay, I didn't know that. So they do have to start on these tyres for the main race. It is Santeri who is on pole currently. Jake Marsh, making his debut in the Alfa Romeo, has gone to 3rd spot. We're having a look at Joey, who's heading through the uphill right-hander of turn 13. He's on the soft tyres so far. I imagine... okay, yes. Yeah, okay, so they do get fresh tyre choice for the main race. They do have to start on these tyres for the sprint race. There goes Joey, 4th spot, just behind Tito, with a 26.2. It's not a bad lap, but he can definitely improve on that. OP Zane has gone in 8th spot, crosses the line in his McLaren still a few times. Put on the board, Modestrol invalidated, LRB 05 for Alfa Romeo. He is currently on the bottom of the timing tower, but he will be heading towards the start finish line now to set a qualifying lap, and we'll see what he can set. It's a purple 2, so he's on a good run so far. He is the he's won championships of course in here when it was under the old name. There's been no FSS champions, apologies. I have got the title wrong because I was reading it off there and that says FFS, so I'll be in trouble for that one. But anyways, LRB goes to 8th spot, Gazizel has jumped to 3rd, and Giel has jumped to 2nd. Kyle Tink. Yep. The FEO drivers very quick. Of course, FEO was a team that came under the radar, and now they've just picked up some fantastic drivers since... Oh, we're on board with Kyle Tink. He is now on the runoff area. Has a slide on the curb when starting his lap. That's not a comfortable way to start your qualifying session. That will keep him down in P14, certainly for the next few minutes anyways, as he's not getting a lap in now, and he's certainly not getting one better than the 1:36.3, which is appalling as it stands. Fleddy, he's on an out lap, as there's not many people on qualifying laps, as the first phase of this qualifying session has completed. There is 14 times on the board, and Kai's isn't really the best. He has just got a time on the board, literally, is all that is. It's not competitive in the slightest, and it will be beaten by everybody unless someone has a nightmare. But yeah, it's very close at the top of this timing. As you were saying, an FER shootout, it is a 1:25.8 for both. It's a 1:25.853 for Centauri and a 1:25.863 for Giel. Yeah, if it was an esports cup, it would certainly be very interesting, but it isn't. It's just your regular league, although if we did have to point out a team currently performing well, we would probably go for the Aston Martins, as Tito and Andrea are in 4th and in 6th. But we'll stick with the Red Bull of Fleddy here, as he is about to start a qualifying lap. I was about to say he's Dutch, but he most certainly isn't Dutch. As he heads up. Yeah, a bit of a slide there for the Red Bull. We're on board with him now. Of course, there was a Red Bull on pole in real Formula 1. It's currently a Red Bull on pole in the former Centauri, but Fleddy is currently last, and he'll hope to do a bit better than Sergio Perez did. Sergio Perez qualified 11th, of course, in his Formula 1 debut for Red Bull Racing. Fleddy will not be beating 18th for the time being, as he has gone red in Sector 1. Kyon, who we were talking about, has gone purple in Sector 1. The Mercedes hangs it into the double left-hander, minimalises the lock-up. That is how you keep it quick through there. A couple of cars ahead of him will be hoping not to pick up any traffic. There's more track action for the time being. Lots of drivers on outlaps, specifically the top 8 all on an outlap. There's a minute and he has to get out of the way of Fleddy pretty quickly. Nothing more Fleddy could do. Thought he would be out of the way, but Kyon ran a wide line through there. It's a purple too as well. If he can nail this final sector, surely it is enough to beat the 1:25.8 of FER Centauri. That was a banker for him. He will be improving on that unless he makes consistent mistakes, but I don't think he will. He's fast over one lap. Centauri certainly is. Kyon, will beat that, and it is still tied at the top, but it is Kyon who is the man currently fastest in qualifying. Giel is on another lap. We'll take a look at what the Hassman can do. You can see him there flying through turn number 4. The number 93 Frenchman of FER Giel, former Challengers driver. I'm not sure if he's doing Challengers this year. Probably is, but he was definitely in it before. He's currently on the set of softs. Any of these drivers won't beat their laps on mediums for sure. It'll really be anybody who, you can see the 1.2 off the pace for OP Zane. He's about the only one who will beat his lap if he was to go for it on a set of mediums. Giel gets all over the place onto the curb, and someone has shot up the timing tower, I believe. There, it was the Dutch Missile, I believe, who has put himself up there. As Giel has backed off this lap, I believe. He has backed off this lap because Zizzle starts his lap as well as Centauri. Centauri, let's go on board with the Red Bull as he flies through Sector 2. Gets a bit on the curb, but that's okay. Manages it well. You'll only spin there if you take too much curb, and that can be a common problem. Has a bit of a wobble on the exit of turn number 8. That is Medestral, who goes up to 4th and just behind his teammate. So that's both Hasses up the top of the order now. Centauri heading down towards turn number 11. A tricky uphill left-hander, which will be taking in about 4th gear. It's not a bad run for Centauri here. It's purple. It is not a bad run at all. He takes a lot of curb there, but manages to hook in the car. 6 minutes 30 seconds left of qualifying. If you are just joining us, we are live from Bahrain for qualifying, the first ever sprint race and the first ever race. Oh, that's a shame. He's invalidated it on the last corner, and Centauri has, well, quite frankly, bottled it, as that was a horrendous mistake to make when you were so far up. He's just run a bit too wide, was pushing all the limits. Tito has backed off his lap, so is Joey. He's almost ran at the back of Fleddy, as that is Kazizel to make it a Mercedes 1-2. It was a Mercedes 1-2 in the United States of America. It is currently a Mercedes 1-2 in Bahrain. Kazizel is second, apologies, with his teammate Kyon on pole, and that is a very, very interesting turn of events. Andrea is currently on a flying lap. He's currently 7th, 1 spot behind his teammate. He's less than a 10th off pole position. The top 7 all separated by almost exactly 1/10 of a second, and that is really, really interesting. Andrea, yeah, he's backed off this lap, I believe, actually, as yet he's 3 seconds down. He has backed off this lap. So has LOB05, and so has Fleddy. A lot of drivers making mistakes. Kai Eltink also invalidated. A lot of drivers making mistakes. And that is not good at all for someone like Kai Eltink, who is 10 seconds off pole as it stands. Now, I know this isn't going to apply, but as of right now, Kai Eltink would not even qualify for the race to start, let alone get a position. He's out of the 105% rule, and he's just had a spin. So he definitely wants to be improving. Last time I can remember a F1 driver not making the 105% rule was Nicholas Latifi in Turkey 2020, and it was a wet qualifying, so he still did qualify. If you're unsure what the 105% rule is to officially qualify, and by qualify I mean just so you can start a Formula 1 race, you must qualify within 105% of pole position. And on another regulation rule, is the sprint 25%, as Trappy Formula in the stream chat? It is a 25% race with 1 pit stop and no safety car. Every driver, apart from OP Zane, is in the pit lane. Zane, however, is going to start a qualifying lap. Let's have a listen to the Mercedes as he's heading down the main straight and secure. Ooh, bit of a lock-up as he's better heading into the second sector. That is not so good for Zane. It is a purple sector 1, however, still I don't believe that in the slightest. It is a really scrappy middle sector for the McLaren, and that didn't look comfortable in the slightest. It did not look comfortable in the slightest. He's on a set of softs, if you're wondering for the tyres. You can see the roaring orange brakes of the orange McLaren. There's many drivers coming out for their out laps now. We've 2 minutes and 48 left of the qualifying session. This is not for pole position, however, though. This is for to start first in the sprint race. As you may know, in Formula 1, it is called the Pirelli Speed King. I wonder is it called the Formula Sim Series Speed King? I highly doubt that, but it will be for first in the sprint race. OP Zane, the Speed King. Here comes Zane. Will he be the Speed King? No, he'll only be 14th, and that's disappointing in the end for Zane. That's his qualifying probably over, as he's not going to go for another lap on that set. The man currently the quote-unquote Speed King is Kyon, who is first position and about to start his final qualifying lap. He said earlier on that Kyon was fast. He's certainly proving it today. He is he's not that far ahead of everybody in the top 7, less than a 10th ahead of everyone. It is crazy scenes here. It's going to be a very, very tight final end to the session. Well, here comes Kyon through turn 1. That's the keep giving us a terrible camera angle there. Oh, here comes the team game. Here is the slipstream from his teammate Kazizel. So these two are not working to beat each other, they are working together, and that was a very, very well worked slipstream by teammate Kazizel. There's purple 1. There's purple 1. So Terry's teammate won't be giving a slipstream Fleddy, as he's just started a qualifying lap. Keown's slipstream certainly worked, as he is purple in sector 1. He's got to get another bit of a tow if he can catch up to the Aston Martin in front of him. That is what we believe to be the Aston Martin of, I think it is Tito. It is Tito, as Andrea has just started a lap. Here comes Keown. There's a bit of traffic. Oh, the Aston Martin gets in his way, and that's it. That's Keown. His lap is done. The Aston Martin of Tito has got in his way. He's not provided a slipstream. He has ruined his lap. Keown will probably get another go of it, but I can imagine he will have to return his favour, and Jensen smashes the qualifying time by almost 0.2 of a second. He shoots himself up the top. Giel has gone second. It's not enough. Keown has started his lap. Will Kazizel get another run in is the real question, as Keown, no. Sorry, apologies. Keown will not get another run in. Kazizel, though, yeah, Keown has to return the favour to Kazizel. Despite what happened on Keown's lap, he will not be starting on pole. Kazizel's made a bit of a mistake through turn 1. Tito's retired from the session. Obviously had to... Oh, that's very close to Mercedes, almost making contact. Yep, Santeri is almost 0.4 up on his lap. He mismanaged this final corner and invalidated on his last run. He's nailed it on this run, and Santeri, the finishman, may go on pole. He will go on pole. Apologies, not pole. He'll start first for the sprint race. He has destroyed the qualifying lap. We need to keep an eye on Kazizel, how he's doing. He's down on his time, and it is Andrea who has gotten 4th for Aston Martin. Kazizel not going to get a slipstream from the Haas, who has vacated to the left-hand side. Of course, he's definitely not going to give him a slipstream, as they are battling for the running order in the sprint race. Kazizel, though, he's up in the second sector. He's not up by enough for a major improvement, and what was such a tight qualifying, they're all within 0.1 of a second, has just become an absolute mad session. As that is Kai Eltink. He's pulled one out of the bag in the final moments. He's gone 3rd spot, but how can Kazizel do? Mercedes were 1-2 starting the final runs. Kazizel 5th, Keown in 8th. Jake Marsh has also invalidated in his qualifying lap, meaning it will be pole for Santeri, who's pulled one out of the bag, and you best believe we did not expect it to be Santeri, Jensen and Kai Eltink, a 1-2-3 before the final run, has seen Mercedes absolute topple down the order. Of course, Kazizel was really unlucky. He was improving by a lot, and then just had to avoid Tito. It is. It really is. And Santeri made that mistake on his second run. He didn't make it on this run, and he has taken pole, so that was crucial for him. Yep. Qualifying for the sprint race, the Speed King, as it is called in Formula 1. Don't ask me why it's called that in Formula 1, but it is. Santeri is on pole, followed by Jensen, Kai Eltink, Medestral. Then it is Kazizel, Andrea, Giel, Keown, Tito, Fleddy, Jake Marsh, Joey, all the way down in 12th. LRB05, the Dutch Missile, Rowan, Will Murdoch, Zane, and Lars, who had a qualifying ban. He will start the sprint from the back. Really interesting qualifying for the sprint race. Then, of course, the sprint race is the real opportunity for drivers who had that poorer qualifying. So the Mercedes who didn't get that final run in, it's not the end of the world, as they now have this sprint race to get back up for the starting position for the main race of course, points for the sprint race is oh yeah. If you struggle getting the best lap in over one lap, the sprint race is ideal for you. So we could see Joey get himself back up as well. He had a poorer qualifying, didn't really get a proper go at it. So we'll see what he can do. Santeri though doesn't pick up the point for qualifying like normal. He needs to win the sprint race if he wants to pick up 3 points for qualifying. This is technically sprint qualifying as we get ready to go for the formation lap for the first ever Formula Sim Series sprint race. Tyre choices are the ones from qualifying apart from the bottom 10. They get free tyre choice as per usual.
Silly me, my audio voice sharing has been off this entire time.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. If you couldn't hear him before, welcome to Ethan. He has been my co-commentator for tonight, and if you've heard me randomly stop talking, that is why. Oh no. Oh dearie me.
What a shame. So clever on tyres. The drivers are now going round into Sector 2 for the formation lap. We're going to see a lot of chaos in this opening lap.
There is going to be a lot of chaos. I've just realised that they've definitely been wondering why I'm having a conversation with myself. But, yep. Welcome to Ethan, folks. Ethan's joining me for tonight here in the Formula Sim Series commentary box. We are live around Bahrain for the 14-lap sprint race and then the 29-lap main race. Some quick track statistics for you. It is 336.49 kilometres. No, it's not 336 kilometres to turn 1. That is 336 metres to turn 1. I may have messed up on my notes. Some replacements for tonight. Thomas replacing in the Williams. Then we've Will Murdoch in the Ferrari. Modestral back in the Ferrari. He raced last week in the Ferrari and he's actually 6th in the standings for Ferrari. Then OP Zane in the McLaren. Fleddy in the Red Bull and Jake Marsh for the Alfa Romeo. But we are lining up and that was a fast it's a fast formation lap by Santeri. It was by Kai Eltink who is
randomly overtook.
Just wasn't bothered waiting behind the Red Bull. He wanted maybe some psychological games. Who knows?
Yeah.
But here we go then. Lars will line us up on the grid for the sprint race. He had a qualifying ban for that incident with Giel in qualifying last week, funnily enough. But Lars has lined us up on the grid and we are ready to go here in Bahrain for the first ever sprint race of the Formula Sim Series. 3, 4, 5 red lights. We go racing for the sprint in Bahrain. It's a bad race start by Jensen. It's a great race start by Kai Eltink, who's already up to 2nd spot and could be challenging for turn 1, for first in turn 1. There's a big send from Andrea up the inside for Aston Martin. Modestral struggles to get through. Kazizel is up a spot as well. Oh, contact, and it's Kazizel. Oh, it's an aeroplane crash. Kazizel and Modestral both crashing out of the race. We've no safety cars here. They'll both start from the back. That's 2 front runners who are already out of the race. That was a horrendous incident by the 2, but they will not be saved by a safety car. Well, they won't be saved by a safety car because they're out of the race, simple as that. But that is a big shake-up here for the sprint. This is what sprints are all about. We said Joey could make his way up the pack. He's up 5 to 7th, and that is going to be some unhappy words there from Modestral as he was really swiped into the wall by Kazizel. But this is what sprints are for. This is the action-packed racing we were expecting. It has happened here on lap 1.
Jeez, I just watched a replay of that massive crash. That was a big hit.
Modestral has rage quit, so someone needs to get a message to him that this race is not over. Santeri leads the sprint race so far. He's ahead of Kai Eltink, who finished last race in America in 2nd. No sprint race for that one, of course. That was our standard format. But this is excellent racing early on. Joey on the mediums is running 7th, but he's struggling and he's run wide. He could find himself under attack from Tito here. These sprint races are all about overtakes and you got to get them done fast. But we also still have a pit stop to make. So these drivers who start on the mediums will be quicker in the later part of the race when they do get on the softs, but Kai Eltink will look to challenge for a overtake early on. There's your positional change on the left hand side. Kai up 1, Jensen down 1, and everybody else apart from LOBO 5 and IF4 Fleddy are up position. Kazizil and Modestrel, after qualifying in 4th and 5th in the qualifying standard format, they'll start 17th and 18th for the main race. After this sprint, there was a horrendous first lap incident. It was definitely red flag territory if it was real Formula 1, but there was no safety cars in this one.
And what opening lap that was for the Joey and Dutch Missile, making up 5 places. Rowan also making up 4 big gainers, especially Kuhn as well, and Grill. So it's been very, very hectic, this opening lap.
It has been crazy. Kazizil isn't too unhappy with that incident. Modestrel, though, they're both just unsure of what really happened. It could be some of the confusion from flying into the barrier, but we will keep you updated on the situation on that one later. Of course, if you do get a penalty in the sprint race, it does apply for the main race, and that was the fastest lap of the race by Keown, surprisingly, in 5th. He looked the quickest man in qualifying, didn't become the speed king, as it is called, but he is certainly looking fast in the race. I say that as he's run wide and bounced over the curb while attacking Geel. Two closest men on the circuit at this moment in time are Will Murdoch and Lars, but other than that, it is our race leader and second place, Centauri and Kai. Centauri just looks so much quicker through this middle sector than Kai Eltink does, however. As the two McLarens could look to scrap, both on the mediums, so that could be important for the pit stop stage. As Kai Eltink has locked the brake, he's run wide, and he is off the circuit. He's back on now, thankfully, but he's lost a chunk of time there. No real threat but from Jensen behind, however. Keown could also be trying to attack Geel soon, although these guys all have very similar pace at the top of the order. If we drop back a bit, Lars is still pressing for a move on Zane, but cannot force it just yet. We are still only on lap 3, and we have a few more laps to go. Kai Eltink doesn't want to rush a move, as he will get slipstreamed down the very next straight. But let's see what he does here. He's pressing that ERS overtake button. Centauri is not. It's the fastest lap from Kai Eltink. It will be an overtake from Dutchman Kai Eltink, who goes down the inside of Centauri, and he'll get it done before the braking zone. The Alpine is up to the lead of the sprint race here. Well, Centauri fought it back though. He gets the exit, but he has a bit of a wobble over the curb. Modestrel has joined back, and here comes Centauri. He's got to go over the inside. Kai with a defensive manoeuvre, but the Red Bull still commits to the inside of the circuit, and he has almost got the move done. They're going to be side by side into the next corner. This is the racing we so wanted, as they almost make contact. Kai Eltink keeps the car in, and Centauri will have to concede the position for now. Kai Eltink keeps the race lead.
I think Centauri might go back at him though down this DRS straight. Maybe a late move down into this left-hander if he gets some traction here.
Yep, he's got us behind for now. He's not burning the DRS, and he will sit behind the Honda Power versus the Renault Power. And the two engines, they're of course both equal, as we're on equal cars, but I felt like saying it for some reason. They're on lap 4 of 14. It's high paced and it's action packed for sure, but it is living up to all our standards currently. Look at that train. The top 4 all could still could go 4 wide down this straight if everything went to plan. Centauri though pushing Kai through the final corner. Kai has just bolted off the exit and Izzy into the pit lane. The Alpine and the Red Bull are both into the pit lane. Kai has picked up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, that's not going to help his chances. There's a couple of people who've stayed out. Jensen takes the lead of this race. What's the pit stop going to be like for them? It's of course the medium compound of tyres. Andrea into the pits also. There is Lars and LRB into the pits. He started on the medium, so obviously feels the softs will make the end here. They're going to come out in the same order as they went in. No double stacks for any of the teams. The rest of the drivers who were double stacking will surely head in this lap. This will be cool to see. Can Jensen and Geel overcut Centauri and Kai Eltink? Well, we'll find out in a couple of corners' time as they enter turn number 10. This corner will get more difficult as we go on, because the more you lock up, the more flat spots, and the more flat spots, the more difficult it is to drive the car. That's how that one works. The gap up the front still 0.6 of a second. Oh, it's awful. If your car feels poor, you have no confidence really. And some of the drivers, you can see, they will just lose confidence in the car, and then they will drop down the order. We will get the tyres up for you now to see who is on what. It is mediums for the guys we're on board with now, of Rowan and Jake Marsh. We'll see. Surely the soft runners will be pitting now into the pit lane, as Jensen pulls to the right hand side, and he will enter the pit lane. This will be crucial to see where Kai Eltink, although Kai Eltink is 1.5 seconds ahead of Santeri, so something has gone on with Santeri there. He's made a mistake somewhere along the line. Kai has a 5-second time penalty, but Santeri will still have more cars around him unless this undercut is extremely powerful. Here's Kai Eltink. Keep an eye on the pit lane of Jensen and Gale. We'll see the Alpine shoot up alongside them and pass now. Where's Jensen? There he is exiting the pits. He will be alongside Santeri, and he will get the job done on Santeri. Keown will be battling with Gale, and he's got past Gale as Gale loses it, and so does Keown. They've both made mistakes on the exit of the curb. That's cost them both. It's costed Keown more as he's lost a spot to Gale. We'll try around the outside probably. He just doesn't have the corner speed, and Gale will get the spot. Still 3 drivers who have not pit. They are Joey, the Dutch Missile, and Jake Marsh. But it is Kai Eltink who leads this race ahead of Jensen and not Santeri. That hasn't worked for Santeri, and whatever mistake he made on that lap.
That was very close to losing another Mercedes driver. And pretty much the same spot, wasn't it? So, very, very lucky for Kuhn there.
But lucky they didn't make contact with each other, because it was very easy for them both to crash.
Definitely.
Santeri, though, will hope to try
He'll
get the rhythm back. And he needs to get past Jensen, because he'll want to start on pole for the Grand Prix. Kai has a 5-second time penalty. Jensen doesn't, though, so he will have to pass at least one of them on the circuit. As the Dutch Missile and Jake Marsh both opt for the pit lane. Joey stays out. Hope he does know that we don't have safety cars here.
You would hope so, being an owner of the league, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you certainly would hope that he knows his rules. You can never quite tell with Joey sometimes. There's a battle for the race lead, though. Or what is the race lead after penalties? Santeri has got the move done on Jensen. He's found that one fairly easy, and he will cut up to Kai Eltink. Modestrol is hoping to do it last to first, so interesting. As Jensen is going to have to just slip behind Santeri. Just doesn't seem to have the pace. The 2 Aston Martins are swapping spots. Unsure if this is a battle or not. Yes, it certainly is a battle, as Tito has got the run off the corner despite running wide. He has got past Andrea. Lars, keep an eye on him. He sent one down the inside of Andrea. Wasn't saying keep an eye on him there, but Andrea probably should have in his mirrors. Lars is on softs, and he is the top soft runner, despite starting last in this sprint race. We've 7 laps to go here in Bahrain until we get to the main Grand Prix. Kai Eltink is the provisional leader after the pit stops, but he does have that 5-second time penalty. He will be quick in the race, though, however, so remember that. We still do have more to come. If they get a penalty in this, it'll be all chopped back to the start for the main Grand Prix, as Joey has gone into his pit box now. It's an Alpine 1-2. Savour that while we have it. We'll see where he comes out on that fresh set of softs. They'll be a bit quicker than, well, everyone, as he's the last pit up. But Kai Eltink will retake this race lead. Jensen closing in on Santeri. The Williams has got to go for a move down the inside. No defence from Santeri, and Jensen has got himself back up to second spot. See what sort of an exit Santeri can get. Santeri has got a good exit there, so he will be challenging. But look at Jensen.
Oh no!
Oh, something's gone on here.
Made contact with Joey and sent Joey completely off track. Joey fresh out of the pit.
Joey is down to 15th spot ahead of Fleddy, who's something's happened there. He is down to 16th. That is disappointing for Joey, as he was just out of the pits. What happened there? Was it just contact?
The Dutch Missile was making a move on Andrea, and Joey was coming out the pit lane, and it was like a 3-into-1 kind of situation.
Oh, that's not good. That's never going to end well when you go 3 wide into Bahrain turn 1.
And then there was some wheel banging on the exit, and then obviously it sent Joe into the shadow realm.
Joey, well, he's visited another place in his life. He's recently back from a holiday in America. He's just back from a holiday from the Shadow Realm. Jensen is caught up to Kai Elting, and he's boozing this one around the Bahrain circuit. He's good pace here. He qualified second for this sprint race. Apologies, I'm going to keep saying Grand Prix. I will get used to it eventually. For this sprint race. Meaning, if you just swap Santeri and Kai, they'd all be where they qualified.
What I'm noticing as well here is that Santeri has 40% ERS compared to Jensen's 10%, so Santeri's been very economical with his battery usage.
Greta Thunberg would be loving you, Santeri, right now, but Jensen is the quicker man on the circuit as it stands. It could be down to that ERS usage, or it could be pace. We will never know. I mean, we will know if he starts to drop off, but you get what I mean. He has caught, unless Kai has made some sort of a mistake, they are catching him right now. They are catching Kai. Of course, it's much easier for a group of cars to catch someone, as they can push each other along almost, kind of like cycling. If anyone watches that, the peloton catching the main driver. It'll be much easier for Jensen and Santeri to catch Kai because, well, one of them gets DRS and one of them gets slipstream. Now both of them get the DRS and Kai does not, so that's where he'll struggle. He does not have a slipstream, he does not have a DRS. He has little to no ERS either. We now have the telemetry on the bottom of your screen. You can see Santeri 60% as we head through the right-hander. He is focusing on the long term, but as Lewis Hamilton said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Well, this one is a sprint, so he needs to get a hurry on if he wants to win the first sprint of the Formula Sim Series Season 6. No ERS usage for now. Jensen certainly isn't getting past Kai Elting as we drop back. Lars is up to 6th spot from the back, so speaking to Lewis Hamilton, he's trying to copy him.
Santeri was having a look there, slight look from very far back. As an oversteer moment mid-corner, so he's not going to get the run here into turn.
He's not going to run now, but Will Murdoch has got the run on Zane. He's got the job done there. So did Rowan on the Dutch Missile. He got the move done there. The Dutch Missile hasn't been able to get that move done on Andrea, which caused a collision with them and Joey. The soft runners will certainly be quicker than the medium runners now, as we only get 4 laps to go, and they are practically fresh. Lars is the quickest of the lot, seemingly, of the soft runners. He's up to 6th, and that's a fantastic starting spot for this one. I'm sure he's happy this is the race he got his qualifying ban for, because he almost has double the time to do it in.
It's a real battle there in the midfield, isn't it, as well? Look at that train.
Yeah, it's a right scrap here. Could see a move from Jake Marsh, possibly, and the Dutch Missile. He has more ERS, and is he going to go down the inside of the Dutch Missile? No. He's going to stick behind, as Rowan is almost pushing Andrea through the corners. Jake Marsh is driving really well here on the back of the Dutch Missile, putting him under some pressure. He wants to get into the top 10 for the main race, as the Dutch Missile almost looked like a little bit of a brake check. I can't imagine it was, but he was very slow mid-corner. And it has been an issue for Jake Marsh as he is struggling seemingly in the dirty air. He'll get a run down this straight though, will the Alfa Romeo and the Alfa Tauri in front. Speaking of Alfa Tauri and speaking just of overtakes, there is a battle for the race lead between Jensen and Kai Elting. Kai Elting loses the spot as there was an aggressive swipe from someone on Santeri. Kai hasn't got the exit either. He's not tucking into slipstream. That's a poor decision. He could have got back past. But Kai Elting is now second, and he'll lose even more from this 5-second time penalty. Jensen takes the race lead here on lap 11. If we go back to this battle, something has happened. Jake Marsh, he is down to 14th. Yeah, whether he's picked up some damage or something, he's gone down and he's trying to move down the inside on Joey. It hasn't worked, as something has happened. Will Murdoch as well, he's ghosting, and currently it's a McLaren inside him. So that's probably not really... That's probably not what he wants in this race. Yeah, there's been some collision or something as Rowan runs wide. We'll just stick with our battle for the race win. As it is that's a very confusing midfield for the time being. Jensen, though, leads.
Nice move for Joey to P11.
Joey to P11. He'll want a bit more than that for the race start. As, well, every driver will. That's just how a driver's mind works. You want to start and you want to finish as high up as possible.
High as you can, yeah. Everyone wants to finish P1, but not everyone can finish P1, can they?
No,
So,
one driver will finish P1. Will it be Jensen, Kai or Santeri? Kai Eltink, is he going to... This would be a late lunge if he goes for it, but I can't imagine he will. No, he has a look, but Santeri is on his inside, and Santeri is now on his outside, but Kai doesn't care. He's going to give him show him a bit of the curb. Santeri, though, will it be the inside for him? No, he's cleverer than that. Santeri matured as a driver a lot in the last few months, and he has backed out of that one. He'll go from again. He's more ERS. He has equal tyres, and he knows Kai is a penalty, so he will go from.
The driver's got to be very careful. The people in P1, P2, 3. They cannot afford an incident because they have another 28 laps in the sprint, in the actual race, in fact. So it's all about risk versus reward.
And the thing here is, if one driver runs a little bit wide going for an overtake, there'll certainly be at least two who'll want to swoop in past them and find themselves another position for the starting grid. As Kai will certainly drop a few spots for the starting grid, as he will be starting... Well, he won't be starting, apologies. He'll be finishing this race with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. A silly, silly penalty to get, but easily done around Bahrain. Keep an eye on these three. Santeri certainly going to look for a move. Kai Eltink could probably do with forcing a move and just give him a little bit of a breather and try pull a little bit of a gap. Santeri, though, not close enough. Kai Eltink, not close enough. This battle will continue, though.
Oh! Santeri locked his rears.
Santeri,
that was so close, him going round.
Santeri, yeah, you can see he's lost the gap to Kai Eltink. Kai Eltink is not close enough to Jensen to send one, as there is something happening at turn 1. It is the two Alfa Romeos who seem to be involved in something there, but we won't cut to that battle just now. There's a more important one going on for the winner of the sprint race, and the man who will line up on pole position for the second round of the Formula Sim Series. Will it be Jensen, Kai or Santeri? Santeri could really have done with being in second spot right now, as well he has to get past Kai and he has to get past Jensen if he wants to win this race.
Jensen's had a very, very strong race today, strong sprint race, and compared to what happened last week in qualifying, very nice on him.
Yep, he's drove very well, and he just needs to defend for one more lap. If Kai gets past him, he'll still win. It's this man in the Red Bull, Santeri. Kai has picked up a 3-second penalty, so right now he will drop to approximately P number 7 for the main Grand Prix. He has had a howler of a race. He will finish probably in first position because he has a run on Jensen. He needs to gain as much time as possible. He's going to go to the inside. Will the Alpine Kai Eltink down the inside? He's passed before turn 1. Jensen knows this. Jensen's going to back off and just, you can bolt away, Kai. I am happy where I am. He needs to defend from Santeri, who has another slide there, and that is going to cost Santeri a chance of a run towards turn 4. If we cut back, it is Joey who's got the move done on Andrea. He pops himself up into the top 10 nicely. He is 9th position now.
Literally the gearbox.
Oh, Kai Eltink!
Oh,
Kai Eltink has made a mistake,
oh, no.
and this will help Jensen as he'll get a tow down the straight. This is now the battle for the race win between Jensen and Santeri. Kai running wide will help Jensen as he will get DRS and he will get a tow. Santeri, though, has a lot of battery to burn compared to Jensen, but as Santeri just left it too late to burn this battery. Risk versus reward. We are only in the sprint race and it will all come down to the main race, but this is a racing driver mindset and they don't think about what race it is. They think about getting past the man in front. It will have to be a late send if it is. Kai runs wide again. He's struggling. We're heading down towards the final corner of this sprint race. It's going to be a drag race to the line between Jensen and Santeri, and Jensen has got it all wrong through there, but he might just have enough in the tank of the Williams. Here's Santeri to the inside. Jensen will win the sprint. It is oh so close, and I don't think you'll get closer than that this season. Jensen will start on pole position for the Bahrain Grand Prix. He wins the first Formula Sim Series sprint race. Giel will start 3rd for FEO. Keown will start 4th. Lars works his way up to 5th. From the back, Lewis Hamilton who?
That was a very, very fun sprint race. I hope all of the viewers enjoyed that. We got an absolutely epic ending. It was literally edge of the seat stuff watching the onboard of Santeri that last lap, where he was literally inside the gearbox of Jensen.
Yeah, if that's anything to go by, this Grand Prix, we're in for a cracker of a race. There's Jensen taking the pole position trophy. He's on the podium, but it is the for pole position for the sprint race. The Briton driving for Williams.
Very good
Hopefully.
race from Lars as well there in the sprint.
That was fantastic from Lars. A really underrated performance because with such a battle at the front, 15 places in 14 laps. He drove very, very well indeed. But there is your sprint race. Full results. It is Jensen on pole, followed by Santeri in second. Gil will start in third for Haas. He had a good race as well. It will then be Kjone, Lars, Tito, Kai Eltink, who will start 7th. He did manage to salvage a bit out of that. Rowan 8th, Joey 9th. He did well, coming up from 12th. Then Andrea, the Dutch Missile, Zane, Will Murdoch, Jake Marsh, LRBO 5, Fleddy, and then the back two had that lap 1 crash of Kazizel and Modestrel.
We're going to see Modestrel. He thinks he's going to do a last the first challenge in Arava Special, according to him. That's what he thinks. Last the first.
Now, if you're wondering what is going on here, they're just setting up the grid for the main race. We'll give you a look at the drivers here. Not that you can see anything because of all the red boxes, but any talking points from that one I think you'd like us to discuss, to let us know in the chat. The one thing I have to discuss is how close that actually ended up being. What a fantastic ending.
Well, that was... I thought it was literally like the wing to wing, you know, but it wasn't. But apparently also we've seen Jake Marsh and Loeb. Apparently Loeb actually finished ahead of Jake Marsh, but the game put Jake Marsh ahead of him.
Oh, that's a weird one. The game, once again, proving that it's broken.
Definitely.
Well done, Codemasters.
Yeah. It was very good for the drivers who didn't have the best qualifying, so they made up all the places in that sprint qualifying.
Yep, and of course the main winner from that one, obviously Jensen was the winner, but another winner was Lars, who had a fantastic performance. I definitely know he made a few overtakes and he did a great job of salvaging that qualifying ban.
He did very, very well, to be fair. Respect to him. Also, as well, it gives the drivers the practice for the race as well, I guess. And like the tyres and getting used to how they feel when they're starting to wear away. So hopefully they have a bit more experience with that.
Yep, and I'm sure Lars doesn't like me comparing him to Hamilton, as he is Dutch, but it's definitely a good starting spot. Anywhere in the top 10 is if you started from last spot, but two people who are starting from last spot is Modestrel and Kazizel after that lap 1 incident. And if we have a look at that again, I will get the replay up on my phone. Apologies that we cannot put it up on the stream, but we don't have that type of technology here in the Cobble 2 box.
We can't afford it.
No, we don't have OBS just yet. We'll try get it, I'm sure, at some point. But if we do have a look at that lap 1 collision, really, if you were to pin the blame on someone, it will probably be Kazizel, as he did seem to oversteer off the curb, and they just both made contact. Funny enough, the Haas actually went on top of the Mercedes, but really, I don't think there is anyone to blame. It did just look like a racing incident. Let us know down in the stream chat if you have anything, predictions, any drivers of that sprint race who you think will win. Even that'll be an interesting one if you want to let us know down below.
Yeah, that is a big hit. The Haas in the exact same wall Mazepin is in real life, so famous wall for the Haas team.
Yep, I'm sure the Haas team don't want Gil ending up there in the main Grand Prix.
It just looks like a very, very funny crash.
Yes, it did. We have 18 drivers in the lobby now, so I'm sure we will be getting going shortly for the main Grand Prix. 29 laps of the 5.412 kilometre circuit. A fun fact, you lose 18.9 seconds in the pit box. If you go for a pit stop, that's what you'll lose. And will we see any drivers possibly trying to stop today, or will they all go for the one?
Considering that they're going to be starting on fresh tyres, I'm going to say they're going to be for a one stop, I think.
I think it'll be a soft medium, honestly.
Yeah, I think they can get away with that. Considering the experience and quality of these drivers, yeah, it's going to be a soft medium, I think.
Yeah, I can imagine many of these drivers will be able to pull that off
with ease, I think. But I think at the back is going to be where the action is going to be happening on lap 1 with Kazizu and Madestro.
Yeah, of course, if they both crash again, yeah, they won't be too happy then. That'll be no point for them. The lobby's been updated, so I imagine that is us ready to go in a moment. Funnily enough, one of the Red Bull drivers is not currently in his seat. The other Red Bull driver is Santeri. Who? He just needs to select his seat. Yeah, the lobby is updated. I think we can ready up now. We'll run you through the grid order once again. It is Jensen on pole, Santeri in second, followed by Giel, and Kyon, Lars, Tito, Kai, Rowan, Joey, Andrea, the Dutch Missile, Zane, Will Murdoch, Jake Marsh, and I don't know after that because I didn't take a photo of us. So we will we'll find out when we get to the lobby. Anyways, as we said, soft, medium, but will they start in the softs or will they start in the mediums?
I think it's best to start on the mediums, personally.
Yeah, I'd probably do that myself if I was driving, but there is a reason I'm also not driving in this league, so they can prove us both wrong.
Clearly not fast enough, are we, sir?
Nope, clearly not. Well, I'm not I will use assists for a start, so that's the first thing we need to get off. If you are just joining us, we are getting ready for the main Grand Prix. We just had a fantastic sprint race and a fantastic qualifying session. It is so close.
Insanely close. That was 900 of a second. So.
Yeah, if you want to go rewatch it while you are waiting, I would recommend. It was fantastic final lap, final few corners. As I think we have everybody now. I think they've all selected their seat as drivers are readying up. Yeah, I believe we're ready to go here for the main Grand Prix in Bahrain. It is going to be a great one. Do you have any predictions for who's going to win this?
Obviously, we've seen Jensen have a dominating sprint race, so I think Jensen is going to carry that through to this race, and I think he is going to be in control the entire race and win the race. But the podium, I'd say Jensen, Kuhn, and then Santeri. It's going to be
okay. Interesting predictions as we get ready to go in Bahrain.
It could be absolute carnage on lap 1, I think.
This could be absolute carnage, is right. The sprint race wasn't as much carnage. We did have carnage on lap 1. America, of course, we had a wet start. I don't think there's any chance of that tonight, if I am honest.
Would be funny.
Oh, it's during the day. Okay. We had the sprint race during the night.
Daytime, yeah.
It's daytime. Oh no, it looks horrible. It
Doing
looks
reverse time travel here.
yeah, it looks horrible in the day, if I'm honest. Although I did not know the pit garages were designed like that. They look like fans. As we can see, Kazizzle for a start will start on the mediums. You can see his tyres in his garage, ready to go there.
What is happening here?
I'm just waiting for everyone to ready up. Hopefully this all goes smoothly.
Should the Dutch missiles left the session?
Oh, migrating host. Oh no, I think we have some lobby issues. Here, Tito. Yeah, I think we have some lobby issues.
Lobby issues. Oh no.
Fantastic.
Try and sort
Oh no, they're leaving because it's daytime.
Oh.
Oh, I believe we could have another 25% here. Who doesn't love a format change? Oh, we're turning into the FIA. Fantastic. Yeah, I believe we will have a new lobby. I'll leave the nice photos of the garages until that is set up. Who doesn't love some Bahrain in the day? The drivers clearly don't, that's why we have a restart.
You'll be blinded and I think you'd lose at the valve flipping half your body kilos, man. You'd sweat. It'd be very hot, wouldn't it? Proof.
It would. I don't like driving Bahrain in the day, and I don't think anyone has ever did it because it's constantly at night.
We might be get 25% race now. Again.
Oh, the lobby's starting up, funnily enough. So until the lobby's set up, I'll keep you here, folks. We'll have a nice look at the Bahrain circuit once again. Funnily enough, a 25% race, we will get a much shorter race now. As you can see, lots of AI cars. Big respect to Lars, who's still here and still driving along. Folks, if you've never seen what the Bahrain circuit looks like in the day on the game, here is your chance. Oh no, we're not going on board with Lars as he is miles off. Let me know when we do have a new lobby up, as just to keep the viewers entertained, we'll have a look at Bahrain in the day. As there is the new lobby, so we will hop onto that, folks. Apologies for the screen you currently have.
You've received an invite, Evan.
I have received two, actually.
That's good. Very good. The race is actually 29 laps.
So we're going for the full format. We are going for... I can make another FIA joke here. Nobody knows what's going on. What's this, the FIA? No, unfortunately issues like this happen when a game is made by Codemasters. So, we're unsure of the format for now. I'm struggling to join the session so you can have a nice look at my game and loading screen.
That's what the viewers love, man. They love the loading screen.
Oh, who doesn't love loading screens? I believe I will have to restart my game, however I'm afraid that may close the stream. So, well, we'll keep trying for now.
I'll try and send you an invite and see if that works.
Codemasters, a fantastic company.
It's not very good.
It's gonna turn into just the Formula Sim Series podcast, whatever they need in a few moments if we don't get some racing. Only so much we can.
That's
Only so
nice.
much we can waffle on in the loading menus.
Turn into radio commentary instead.
Yeah, it would. Unfortunately, folks, I will have to end the stream for the time being, otherwise we won't get in. We will be back in about 30 seconds for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We'll catch you in a moment.